This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
For your information, a number of student athletes in the Hazleton Area School District disagree with a move by the school board. Hear the story next. Welcome everyone and happy Cinco de Mayo. I hope you are enjoying it. I'm Ken Cara, the guy with your local headlines from FYI and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. The Hazleton Area School Board voted recently to open up all coaching positions in the district for fall and winter sports. They will follow suit with spring sports as well. A number of athletes in the district are speaking out against their decision. We spoke with some of them, including Madison Palumbo, who started a Facebook group called Keep the Coaches of HASD that has over 500 likes. For 3 years, Madison Palumbo wore the captain's armband for the Hazleton Area High School girls soccer team. In a few weeks, she'll graduate, and next fall, Palumbo will play for Penn State Hazleton. She could have just rode off into the sunset, but she still feels like the Lady Cougars captain, and she felt she had to speak up when she heard the Hazleton Area School Board was considering opening up all the fall and winter coaching positions.
When I had initially brought this up to my teammates when I heard about it, they were pretty distraught over it. Some of obviously my younger teammates that are going to be part of the soccer program next year, and being their captain for the past 3 years, I kind of felt like I should kind of do something for them. I mean, they're younger, so they were a little afraid to kind of speak up about it.
One of the athletes she spoke up for was her sister and teammate, Abigail Palumbo.
We were all talking the day that we found out like they passed it, like they were going to have all new coaches and will open up the positions. A lot of my girls were saying like, I'm not going to join next year because all of us had the same opinion. Why are we going to start like back to like a fresh start when this coach doesn't know us, he doesn't know our positions, he doesn't know anything about us? We could possibly be losing varsity time or even have the chance of getting back on varsity. We weren't prepared for and we're not going to be prepared for the next season coming up.
Abigail says even if their current head coach is retained, this is unneeded stress for her and her teammates. School board member Vinny Zola respects the athletes who oppose the decision, but still stands behind his vote to open up the coaching positions.
I'm in favor of it simply because I think everyone needs an opportunity or to have an opportunity to put their name in if they're interested in a position. I think it set a standard that no one's position is guaranteed for forever. And, you know, I have been hearing from a number of people that have expressed concern that they never, or people, you know, they don't have an opportunity to apply for coaching positions because they're always filled.
Zola adds that there have been a number of incidents with coaches in the district, and he specifically referred to the middle school level. Madison Palumbo understands wanting to give other people a chance at the jobs, but she thinks that the current coaches know the athletes and that bringing in a new coach for a sport could put the athletes at a disadvantage. Jacob Oresi thinks hiring a new head football coach would send Hazleton Area's rebuilding football program back to square one. The senior at the Hazleton Area Academy of Sciences transferred into the district 2 years ago, and that was Mike Brennan's first year in charge of the football program. Oresi disagrees with the board's decision and says instead of opening up all the positions, they should just stick to the system they currently have for evaluating coaches.
Just the other day, the athletic director came down and gave us a form to fill out, and we're supposed to rate how our experience was with the sport, if we would recommend playing the sport, if we had any negative thoughts about the sport or anything like that. Well, every sport in the school district is supposed to fill out these forms, you're supposed to sign it, and it doesn't go to the coach or anything, it just goes to the athletic director to make sure that the kids are happy with the coaches. And if there's something going on that there's a lot of athletes complaining about a certain coach or saying that a coach is doing things that he shouldn't be doing on those forms, then I think they should take action.
Zola believes the district has to change the way coaches are evaluated. Also, according to Zola, it was the school board's athletic committee who asked for all the coaching positions to be open. The bottom line is the jobs are open, and the athletes against that decision want to be heard.
This means no disrespect to the school board whatsoever in any way. It just basically, we kind of just want them to take into consideration the thoughts and feelings of the athletes, the parents, obviously the coaches who are being affected by it as well. Just really take into consideration how these people feel about this decision. There's a lot of people who aren't very happy with the decision.
In other news, a Junedale couple has pleaded guilty to 4 armed bank robberies and the armed robbery of a store. The United States Attorney's Office for the Middle District of Pennsylvania announced that 41-year-old David Weaver and 31-year-old Crystal Searfoss entered guilty pleas yesterday in federal court in Scranton. The robberies occurred in 2013 and 2014 at Jim Thorpe National Bank and the Jim Thorpe Neighborhood Bank, both in Penn Forest Township, National Penn Bank in Drums, ESSA Bank and Trust in Broadheadsville, and the Dollar General in Nesquehoning. Someone crashed a vehicle into a house this morning and then took off. It happened around 6:12 a.m. at 712 North Locust Street in Hazleton between 10th and 11th Streets. Fire Chief Donald Leschko says that the vehicle and driver were gone by the time the fire department arrived on the scene. No one was injured inside the home. The owner was contacted to make repairs to the porch. Hazleton police are investigating. State police are looking for the people responsible for damaging a bathroom inside a local business. It happened yesterday at the Kmart store in the Laurel Mall. According to troopers, a thin white male approximately 5 feet 9 inches tall entered the bathroom around 10 a.m. The suspect could be heard yelling and causing loud noises. A store manager found one toilet pulled from the floor and twisted, and a second damaged and leaking water. Blood was also discovered, possibly from the man injuring himself while damaging the bathroom. He fled in a white BMW with black rims. Anyone with information on the incident or the identity of the suspect is asked to call state police at 570-459-3890. This Sunday is Mother's Day, and this first Friday in downtown Hazleton has that theme, and you're all invited. I talked with Krista Snyder, Executive Director of the Downtown Hazleton Alliance for Progress, about Friday's lineup, which includes an event that was very well received last year, Art at the Markle, hosted by Hazleton Power.
Up on the 11th floor of the Markle building, Power is hosting what's called a regional artist networking event, which is basically, it's a nice art exhibit. It brings together artists from all over the region. There's over 30 or maybe 35 artists now participating in over 115 maybe pieces of art. So it's nice. There's a nice atmosphere. There's probably music. There's going to be refreshments, I know. And Jim Moran's paintings are supposed to be on exhibit as well.
Yeah, it's an interesting collection of everything: photography, I guess, painting, and if you're not into art, just come for the views, beautiful views of the city of Hazleton. Some other arts events going on: Meet the Artist at the Dragonfly Cafe, and also Art Youth Expo 6, their closing reception as they get ready to end that exhibit. Special events going on this Friday, Krista. Meet Mrs. Sullivan. Who's Mrs. Sullivan? Who's doing this? What's going on?
Well, Mrs. Sullivan was a 5-time Gold Star mom. All 5 of her sons died in World War II, which is very sad. But Mrs. Sullivan is being reenacted by one of the Eckley players. Her name is Regina Drasher. She's done several other reenactments for different First Friday events. And so in honor of Mother's Day, she's going to be performing Mrs. Sullivan's interpretation at the shop too.
In addition, the Hazleton Y will have crafts for the kids. There's great entertainment and much more. For a complete list, go to downtownhazleton.org. Coming up next on FYI, Charles McElwee from the Greater Hazleton Historical Society talks about a period of unprecedented growth for the city of Hazleton. And later, I want all of you to be a focus group for a new show I'm pitching featuring a member of the Hazleton Area High School girls track and field team.
This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
Pleased to welcome back Charles McElwee. He is a board member with the Greater Hazleton Historical Society and Museum, and also a columnist at times for the Hazleton Standard Speaker, our media partner. You'll see articles that he has written on the history of the area, and one which focused not only on a painting but on a book.
That's right. I tied in two unique things into one article. It was a tribute to James Moran, who was a Hazleton artist. He passed away in March, and he was a great chronicler of the region. Painted beautiful scenery of much of what was lost in Hazleton, and very moving tributes to what was lost. And the one painting I focused on was on North Wyoming Street, looking toward the Markle Building and the Feely Theater. It was from 1920. He painted it within the context of 1929. So when you look at that painting, you can see that what the city was like. It was a very accurate portrayal of what the city looked like, and right before the Depression set in. And he was Moran was trained at the Pratt Institute, and just a phenomenal artist. And I felt this would be a great tribute to Moran within the context also of a review of a recent book that came out.
Okay, so you mentioned the book then as well. So tell anybody about that book. Maybe they want to pick it up and read it.
Right, it's on the bestsellers list right now. It's called The Rise and Fall of American Growth. It's by Robert Gordon. He's a professor at Northwestern University. And it's really about how 1870 to 1970 in the United States was really a special century, really a fluke. A series of cosmic events resulted in a level of technological and industrial innovation that it has been unmatched. And Gordon argues that we'll never see that pace of growth again. And if you look at the painting that Moran portrayed of North Wyoming Street, you just see how quickly Hazleton transformed between 1870 and 1929. In the painting, you see a trolley, and the trolley was the first third-rail electric railroad in the United States. It became a model for the Long Island Railroad, the New York Subway. The city is full of light. It was the third city in the world to have a full city electric grid thanks to Edison. So it's a teaching moment, and it certainly provides context within today.
Time now for FYI News 13 weather.
Our weather shot today comes from Freeland's Public Park. It's a good look at the tribute they have for those who served in our military. Let's check out our local weather forecast now from the National Weather Service. Tonight, showers likely after 4 a.m. Cloudy with a low around 46 degrees, north wind 5 to 7 miles per hour. We have a 60% chance of rain this evening. For our Friday, rain with thunderstorms also possible after 11 a.m. Our high will be 52 degrees, northeast wind 6 to 10 miles per hour. On Friday night, showers again mainly before 2 a.m., low around 46 degrees. New precipitation amounts between 1/4 and 1/2 of an inch. On Saturday, a 40% chance of showers, mostly cloudy, high of 62 degrees. Saturday night, we're up to a 50% chance of showers, mostly cloudy, low 46. Sunday, the sun comes out, partly sunny, high of 59. Sunday night, partly cloudy, low of 43 degrees, and we'll kick off next week under mostly sunny skies with a high of 63, and then on Monday night, partly cloudy, low of 47 degrees.
Tonight's weather is brought to you by Valley High, the area's oldest ice cream and fast food restaurant. Stop on in for a cold treat including our ice cream and yogurt, or some hot food including our burgers, hot dogs, fries, and much more. That's Valley High, Route 93 in West Hazleton. Treat yourself today.
And you're looking at your midday winning Pennsylvania lottery numbers on FYI. Pick 295, pick 3 862, pick 4 0566, pick 5 41590. Track and Field Week continues when we come back on FYI.
Hello and welcome to Law Talk. Today we're going to talk about a very oftentimes tragic but very important subject involving motor vehicle accidents, and in particular victims of motor vehicle accidents who have been victimized by a drunk driver. And Alexis spent 7 years as a prosecutor in the Luzerne County DA's office. She's very familiar with that, and she can bring you all up to date on what needs to be done if that unfortunate event should happen to you or a family member.
As my father mentioned, I did work in the Luzerne County District Attorney's Office for some time. During my time there, I did, for 2 years, head up the Vehicular Homicide Division, and unfortunately in those cases, a lot of times the individuals who were victimized by drunk drivers. So I have a lot of experience on the criminal side as being an advocate for these individuals who were victimized by drunk drivers. Now, in civil practice, I'm able to be an advocate for victims who are involved in drunk driving accidents. And I'm very aware of the fact that not only are these people affected in their work life and their family life, their entire lives have changed from that moment forward. A lot of times there are significant injuries. They can be catastrophic, again, to the work life and to the family life. And I offer the availability to work with law enforcement officers who are doing investigations on behalf of people who were involved in these types of accidents. And it's important to respect the work that they're doing, that being because the investigations that they're conducting certainly can be beneficial to the civil portion of a claim. So if you're involved in a drunk driving accident, give us a call. I'd be happy to sit down with you and speak to you regarding the concerns that you might have, as I'm very aware of the effects that it will have on your life from that moment forward.
This is FYI News 13 Sports.
Every week we have a staff meeting here at SSPTV, and next week I'm going to pitch a new talk show. I want to show you the pilot episode right now. The host of the show would be Hazleton Area High School junior javelin, discus, and shot put thrower Kayla Merkel. She finished 9th in the state last year in the javelin. Here in the pilot episode, we learn a little bit about Kayla.
Well, when I was younger, I always used to like throw baseball, softball, and all that. And then 7th grade, I just decided, hey, I'm going to try out for track. I wanted to try 100s and 200s, but I just fell in love with throwing. And then from there, I just kept doing it.
You were a thrower. I mean, did you ever get in trouble for that? Were the parents like, not here, not then? I mean, we're always just throwing things?
When I was younger, I used to like throw things. My brother would always throw like stuff at me, and then I would like throw stuff at it. It's just
Toys, everything.
toys and everything. It was all always throwing.
When did you realize I'm good at this? Hey, I could toss a baseball pretty far. This might be, there could be a future in this.
Well, my brother and I used to go down to the baseball field with my dad, and we would do this like throwing game. Like you would start at home plate, then you would go to the pitcher mound, and then keep going back and back and back. And then when I got really far back into the field, and I was younger too, so keep that in mind. I thought, oh wow, I'm throwing this really far, and I kept throwing from then on, and I loved it.
Who's your brother?
Patrick Merkel.
Did he go to high school too? Or?
He graduated last year. He's at Rider University now.
Okay. Is he track and field after?
No, he did baseball.
Who could throw farther, you or him?
Me, of course. Of course it would be me. I have more experience in that.
Javelin has to be so competitive around here. There's so many good athletes. I remember going up to Tamaqua, and what is it like competing against? Obviously, you must know all the girls you're going up against, but how good is it? How would you describe it to somebody?
It's just amazing. Even if you don't get first, it's still awesome to see these talented throwers throwing as far. Like Thea Mancini, she throws 153 at the one invitational, and she's this short girl that's so skinny. Her technique is amazing, so it's just awesome.
Where's she from?
Mount Carmel, I think.
Carmel, okay.
Yeah.
Did you start with javelin and go to the other events, or was it always all three? You were just like, I'm going to try these throwing events?
It was just always all three. My coach from JV, Coach Conti, she wanted me to just throw for the team to see if I can get points, and then it just ended up working out, and I love doing them.
What do you enjoy throwing the most? Is there one, or do you like all three?
I love throwing jab the most. I just like watching it go far.
Still throwing baseballs around ever, or are you going to play catch, or are you just sticking to the equipment you have here?
Sometimes here and there I might play catch with a friend, but I'm not usually supposed to do that. But I do when I can.
Merkel's teammate Kendra File made a couple two-tree highlights during the basketball season for the Lady Cougars. She was an important part of their run to a district championship. Now during track and field season, File is competing in the pole vault, long jump, high jump, and triple jump. So here's a question. Is track and field practice for jumpers just like a 2-hour-long crisscross video? For most of our viewers who don't get that reference, I'll explain after we hear from File. What is practice like for you as a jumper? I mean, I'm sure you can only jump so many times, but what are you doing when you're here?
We definitely practice more on technique,
okay.
And we do a lot of jumps, but we don't go too hard before a meet.
What's your goal this year? What would you like to accomplish this year during track season? Track and field season?
I would like to qualify not districts, for states for high jump.
What's the mark? What are you trying? Is there a number you're reaching for? Or?
It's 5'3" to qualify.
You've been doing well this year. I mean, I see your name in the paper every now and then. Going all right? How do you feel it's going?
It's going pretty good, and the weather's getting nicer, so I hope to see more improvement.
Thank you, Kendra. As for Crisscross, they were a rap group and they had a hit song called Jump. I went to one of their concerts when I was 7, wore my pants backwards. No one cares about that. Everyone cares about this. Kendra File jumped her way to a 6th place finish at the District 2 meet last year in high jump. We will wrap up track and field week on FYI tomorrow with the Marion Catholic team. Here's some track and field scores for you now on the FYI Standard Speaker scoreboard. Blue Mountain, they beat the Tamaqua girls to win the Schuylkill League Division I title. Monica Shimko did win the 800. Morgan Boyle won the javelin, and pole vault and Allison Peterson took the discus. Blue Mountain also won the boys meet. Shenandoah Valley scored a big victory over Williams Valley in baseball. In softball, the Lady Devils lost to Williams Valley. The Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins took Game 1 of their best-of-7 series in the Calder Cup playoffs against the Hershey Bears. Game 2 is set for Friday in Hershey. The Rail Riders won their second straight, beating Buffalo on the road. The Cubs swept a 3-game series from the Pirates with a win on Wednesday, so they've opened up a 6-game lead in the National League Central Division. That's the end of sports, but stay tuned for more FYI. Thursday is $1 burger night at Bottlenecks. Get a juicy 4th pound burger for only $1 all night long.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's Talk of the Town report. First tonight, Pocono Greyhound Adoption will be holding their 2nd annual golf tournament Saturday, June 18th at Sand Springs Country Club. Cost is $75 per person or $300 per team and includes green fees, cart, free range balls, lunch, and dinner. Non-golfing dinner option available for $30. They'll also be having lots of 50-50s, tricky trays, prizes, raffles, awards, and more. More information, please call 570-301-8399. Our next announcement, the Gunnarsson Rehabilitation Center, located on the 6th floor of the Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton, will be hosting a free stroke screening Thursday, May 19th from 9 a.m. to noon. Participants will have their blood pressure and pulse taken, and the staff will review medical and family health history. The screening is free, but space is limited. Advanced registration is required. Call 570-501-4632 to register or for additional information. And finally, Healthy Haven, Schuylkill Vision, and the Schuylkill Haven Recreation Department have teamed up to bring back the Farmers Market to Schuylkill Haven. It will begin Thursday, June 9th and run every Thursday until September from 3 to 7 p.m. at the Island. Farmers and vendors should contact to be involved. More information, please call 570-385-1313 or check out havenrec.com. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of Helen M. Staruch, formerly of Middletown. Funeral services are Friday at 9:30 a.m. from the McHugh Wilczek Funeral Home. Friends may call Friday from 8:30 to 9:30 a.m.
And finally, KFC Hong Kong has a line of finger-licking good edible nail polish. It's a limited edition and comes in 2 flavors, spicy and original recipe. Yahoo News looked into it, and it's real, so life is good, I guess. And I guess their marketing worked because now I want Chicken Littles, a ton of them, and I don't even know if they still have them. That's it for tonight. Don't know how to follow up that story. We'll see you again on Friday, first Friday in downtown Hazleton. Take it easy, everyone.